allyship mean to you in both your personal and professional life?
For me, allyship personally and professionally really means that very similar, same thing. I think it means being really great champion. It means creating an environment where inclusivity can thrive. I think it's just incredibly important to create space where people can just show up and feel like they can be themselves. When we're in space where we can kind of take off that armor and just feel like we can show up as ourselves, I think that just increases a sense of belonging, which is incredibly important. And I think there's one more component to having true allyship, and I think that is consistency. It's great if you do something once, good effort, right?
Yep.
Good work, but consistency, I think, is a big part of a foundation to making real change and being a true ally.
Yeah, thank you for that. And speaking of, can you tell us about a memorable moment where you stood by a colleague or a sister in need, and what impact did it have?
Yes, I can think of a few great moments where I've been, in the privilege of being in that space, but also when others have done that for me. One situation, I had a woman who was on my team, and she was growing her family, and she had been in the position on my team for less than a time where she was allowed per policy to have paid maternity leave. She was like right at the threshold. And it just really kind of broke my heart. She was going to be in a situation that just really didn't feel fair. And I, really felt passionate about advocating for her. So I advocated up to see what we could do and see if we could have any type of special circumstance. I was able to get the support of my direct leader, and we continued to advocate up. Unfortunately, policy was policy. That was the message back. But what I was able to do was what was in my control. And that was to make sure that I was just extremely flexible for her and just, really open to understanding and empathetic to her situation. So created an environment in a workspace when she did come back to work and she had a little one right at home with her, to just know, like, you're human. Like, exactly. You're a mom first. Like, anything work related, we can figure it out together. I'm in this with you, right? I'm here to support you. And just making sure that she felt, supported, and she was able to fulfill the needs of her family first, and then we were going to figure out work together.
I love that, right? Because then it doesn't place that like pressure on her of like, I have to advocate for myself, I have to advocate, and then it creates a sense of trust too with you. Like, she knows that you have her back. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. How can women support one another to create inclusive and empowering workplaces?
Oh, this is so important. I think a huge component of this is first just listening, right? Again, creating space and just listening and asking questions, understand what your colleagues, your peers, your leaders are going through, what they're experiencing professionally and personally, so then you can step up, right? And if you're in a place of privilege, then you need to make sure that you're lifting as you climb, always. So I think that that's just incredibly important, is to listen, to advocate and championship when you're in a position where you can do that. If you're not in a position of power, just standing by them, right, and helping to support and advocate when you can. I also think that it's incredibly important. I've had the absolute pleasure of working with a diverse group of women leaders, women who've been on my team, women that who have been my leaders, and I'm grateful now that I get to call them my friends, because we have created space and environment together where we were just going to be open and we were going to show up as humans. We were going to talk about hard things. We were going to bring our personal life, right, sometimes into the professional workplace, so we could show up and really truly be there for each other. And I think that was incredibly important, to not only have a relationship in the workplace to support each other, but sustained, like, past that career, past that job, so you can continue to just show up for each other. And it's really kind of like a ripple effect, I think, right? The more you pour into your relationship, that goodness just keeps flowing.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think the last point I'll make is you've probably heard, like, be close to the people who are going to like your, um, you want to have people right in your corner that are going to say your name in rooms that you're not in, right?
Yep, exactly.
And so be that person for somebody else. I have leaders that I can think of who I know said my name in the rooms that I wasn't in, and said that my name in rooms that I was in, right? To kind of help lift me up. And I think that that made all the difference in my career, especially early on when I was striving to grow my leadership skills. So I just take it really seriously to make sure that I'm advocating for others all of the time when they're doing really great, important work.
What excites you most about the upcoming Woman on the Move Standing by My Sister conference?
Well, first of all, I'm just excited that the career team is hosting this incredible event. I think it's one of the things that really excites me is that you're creating space for women to come together as like a collective, to learn from each other, to inspire each other, to build new relationships. And that's sometimes where kind of like the magic happens.
Yeah.
And I know we'll all walk out of there feeling empowered and hopefully building new relationships. So I think it's just wonderful that Roosevelt is creating this opportunity for students, for alumni, for faculty, and other constituents to just come together, right, in a collective space and learn from each other and just kind of advance social justice and their mission.
Thank you. That was very well said. Period. I'm trying to not trying to get out of character, but you're speaking facts right now. Okay, last question. So how do you personally ensure that allyship is part of your daily life and leadership style? You kind of already hinted at that.
Yes, but I'll take it back. I think when I think back of my career early on, allyship looked a little bit different. I was new in my career, and it looked like listening and just learning and being curious and standing by some of my colleagues, and then there was this like shift, right, where I was able to move into action for others, right, and I felt confident in using my voice and using my leadership position to really be in a place where I felt good about consistently advocating. And I think that kind of growth that I experienced put me in a position to have an allyship mindset. Like, it is now a part of what I do and how I show up every single day, just because I put it into practice and I believe in it and it's important to me. So when someone on my team or my colleagues, they just know, like, they can come to me and talk to me about anything. I had my first job, a leader, I remember the moment so clearly. She said to everyone, when you walk in this door, you need to turn off a light switch to your personal life. And I remember thinking, like, that's not even possible. Yeah, that's not right. And I just kind of like turned down that thinking, because I think it's so important that we do just continue to like let people show up who they are, so we can continue to advocate, be good champions. And that's just, I think, who I strive to be every single day.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kristy. That was the ending of that. Do you have any last minute things you wanted to say or anything?
I'm just really excited. Thank you for having me here for a discussion, and I'm just looking forward to the event in March.
Thank you.